speaking of the 40-day challenges, what we're here for is to talk a bit about the 40-day challenge that you're going to undergo. And I wanted to start with the cold plunge because I am so interested in this. And yeah, I will just start by asking, do you cold plunge now?
Yes.
Okay.
So it was probably about a year ago. I was researching them and, reading the benefits for your joints and your muscles for recovery. And because I mean, that's a big thing now is, getting up at, my age.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel the same. It's, tougher to recover and everything hurts more in the mornings and stuff like that.
And how old are you again?
37.
37.
Yeah.
Me too.
So, and then, with the knee like that, a lot of times will still bring little problems here and there. And I saw a lot of people doing this and read about the benefits. And I was like, you know what, let me look into this. Found, nothing crazy. It was like $70 or $80 on Amazon, just a little like pop-up one, has a couple posts that, hold it in place.
Okay.
And, I started doing it, like I said, about a year ago. And did it consistently for a while. And then I'd say the summer kind of fell off because part of it is just really tough in the summer to keep it cold. Like I'd have to refill it every morning. I'd throw like maybe 3 or 4 like large bags of ice in it, and the ice would melt immediately, and I couldn't get it below 60 degrees, which really then you're just sitting in like a little cold pool.
Yeah.
Not as many benefits.
Yeah. So that was my next question. So, well, you answered one of them. You bought it off Amazon. It was like $80.
Mm-hmm.
That's super good to hear because I've done some poking around, and to know that those work is great. So you keep it outside?
Yep. So I have it out on my patio.
Okay.
And so I did start like this week again with it. I hadn't used it in quite a couple months because like I said, the summer was kind of tough with keeping it cold. So I just wasn't using it. But this past week started with it again, cleaned it out good, filled it up. And with the temperatures right now, it's pretty good. I don't have to, like I bought even these kind of rubber bricks that will make ice. So you just fill them with water, throw them in the freezer, and I would throw those in, in the summer and stuff. But right now, I don't even will throw them in, but I don't even need to use them because I think they always say like the best temperatures are around like between anywhere from like 35 degrees to like 50 degrees. And with the temperatures outside, and since it's so small, whatever the air temp is, you're pretty much getting the cold plunge to that temperature. So I've been consistent this week at about 45 degrees when I'm getting in it.
Nice.
So
that's chilly. I do the cold showers, and I take it down to as cold as it'll go in there, but I still feel like I'm not quite getting the full benefit. I watch guys that have like those big, probably like thousands of dollars, like ice baths or cold plunge, whatever. And, they'll be able to keep it at a consistent, like 33, 34 degrees. And I watch them do it. I'm like, I would like to level up to there some point, but I think doing it with you said like $80, that's probably my next step.
Yeah.
Like I want to jump on the train.
That's all I need. I can fit in, the whole thing, I just you're kind of like in a squat position. So it's not maybe the most comfortable, like as opposed to the ones you see, people using where they're like laying in them nicely and like almost like a lounge chair, set up. But no, it does the trick. That's for sure.
Cool. And when do you do it in the day?
So typically I will do it when I get home from the gym in the mornings. So I feel like that's one of the better parts or times to probably do it is everything's, I just got done working out some sort of, body part. And also I am warm going into it, which is a lot easier than being cold and then going into it also. So that I've done that a few times, like in the evenings, just take the dog for a walk and then come back and be like, oh, I'm going to go in it for 5 more minutes. But I'm kind of chilly going into it. And then that's a little rough.
Yeah. I was thinking, because I have in my basement, I have like a tent sauna. It was like $400, but it's an infrared. It only gets up to, I would say 120, which is plenty to work up a really good sweat.
Yeah.
And I think the infrared has some benefits too. Again, my long-term goal is to get one of the traditional like charcoal saunas that get up to like 170, 180.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking since there's a drain down there, I almost want to just tag team them. And like, as soon as I get out of the sauna, it's easier, but to get right in, and I'll have to get you'll have to send me a link to those ice packs that you were saying. Cause I feel like if I keep in the basement, but I keep ice on hand, it's another tough part. I'm like, do I got to go to the gas station and buy a 20-pound bag of ice every single day? So I'll have to figure that out. But yes, I'm my thought process is I will soon be consistent.
The hot cold method there, like
Yeah.
that's I think the ultimate like goal with that, or like, you know, that a lot of people want to achieve, because that's, you know, I know that's big in like Scandinavia area, where it's, you know, they constantly are doing the sauna to the, you know, their freezing cold water or their ice bath, and they have spas that are big into that. So
Yeah, it's got tremendous benefits. I think we could sit here for hours rattling off the benefits. I'd probably have to pull up some articles because offhand I know just like with like muscle recovery and stuff like you're saying, like joints, it helps, but like mentally, man, it cannot be understated. In fact, so Huberman, you know, Andrew Huberman, Dr. Andrew, he's got a podcast. He's like a neuroscientist from Stanford. You probably came across, he's all over social media and YouTube and stuff, but he was doing an interview, and there's like recent studies, and this applies to everything, not just cold plunge, but they found a brain structure called, and I committed this to memory just because I wanted to sound smart, the anterior mid-cingulate cortex. And, you know, what happens is when you do things that you don't want to do, this part of the brain, it grows.
okay.
So it's like a real tangible thing that like when we push ourselves to do things, particularly that we don't want to do. And I find that so fascinating. And funny enough, the person that he was interviewing when he was talking about this was David Goggins. Are you familiar with Dave? And it's just like, he is the ultimate example of like doing things that you do not want to do. The guy ran, 8 100-mile races, 8 weekends in a row. And it's like, to be able to push yourself that much, he's probably got one that like, he's probably, if you look, there's probably
It's
like a
grown.
it's grown. But I think there's not only like scientific tangible evidence now, there's a lot of anecdotal evidence in my life where like, I don't want to do something, and then I do it. Like I force myself to do it. Like there's like the two voices in your head. There's the one that's like coming up with the excuses and the reasons, like it's cold, I'll do it tomorrow, it's uncomfortable. But if you can get that other voice to be like just a little stronger and then just force yourself into it. I'll do that with the cold shower sometimes, where like I'll feel like there's literally two of me inside, and there's the one that's like, don't go
turn the knob.
Yes, turn the knob, get out. But yeah, so I would, doing the cold plunge is like a perfect example.
Yeah, it does suck. Like it is not fun. But I've yet to, I think, like get out of it afterwards, and once I dry off, be like, oh, I regret going in. Like it's always like I feel better, I feel a little refreshed, like kind of almost like clean some off mentally or type of thing. And I mean, yeah, sometimes I'll throw in the AirPods and just kind of listen to something to ease my mind, or do like a little meditation while in there, and it's just mind over, body type of thing. Yeah. And I've felt the benefits, already doing it, like in the past, or like last year when I started doing it, there'd be days I'd go to the gym in the morning and do legs. And then in the afternoon I'd go for a run. And if I didn't like ice bath after each, like, before I had it, the next morning I'd wake up and my back would be just toast, my knee would hurt, like joints would be really sore, and I really did feel like after ice bathing after each of those and then waking up the next morning, like I felt refreshed, like everything felt really good, like I could go for a run again type of thing. And I just never had felt that before, like especially over the last 5 years or so. The body starts having a few more creaks in the morning. And